Hi, this is Cameron back again with another CD Finds video. This is number 14. I'm going to show 15 new CDs. Now, I should explain that I am a prolific buyer. I spend a lot of time looking for CDs in thrift shops and local bargain bin of my store, into the store I frequent, Into the Music, here in Winnipeg, Canada. And then I pick up 3 or 4 of the full-priced used CDs when it's something unusual that I would really like to add to my collection. Okay, so starting off, I should also say that when you leave the store, there's always some free CDs. You can pick up one if you've made a purchase. And this very first CD is one of them. It was sealed. It's called American Flamewhip, and the album is called Fingertight. It's from 2016, and it's punk rock, but not like the 70s punk rock, a more modern, almost a pop punk. This album came out in 2006, and they're a Canadian band. Next up, one of my favorite bands since I discovered them around 1983 or 84. I picked up a couple of reissues of theirs. This is The Devil Hits Back. It's a greatest hits. They're hard rock from England, and Vince Crane is the one recurring member until he passed away. I believe it was just around 1990. So since then, there's been a number of compilations and some live recordings from different periods of the band. So Devil Hits Back is from 1999, and it's a compilation of their hard rock sound. I'll pull out the booklet if I can. Here we go. Okay. Write-up and pictures. And then finally, okay, and next up I have another Atomic Rooster. When I look it up, it says it's a compilation. It's called Heavy Soul, but the songs on this double album aren't the real popular ones. So I'm wondering where these songs come from. I have to confess that there are albums that I know better than others. That The Devil Hits Back actually has all the songs I know. So I'm not sure if anybody can enlighten me about Atomic Rooster's Heavy Soul. It came out in 2001. Here's the inside, and then the booklet. Here's their different albums over here. Again, a big write-up. I haven't read the write-up yet, so that may enlighten me. Yeah, it says these albums go from 1970 to 1974. So there must be a couple of the albums that I either have and I'm not familiar with them as much, or they're from albums. I'm missing a couple of their later albums. In any case, this is a great compilation of Atomic Rooster's hard rock sounds. Next up, a band I saw live about 4 years ago, just before the pandemic, and it was absolutely one of the very best concerts I ever went to. Chicago 9 Greatest Hits from 1975. I'll get the liner notes. I don't think there's very much in the liner notes. Just, I think just the names of the songs. That came out in 1975. Next up, someone who's coming to town or just came to town here in Winnipeg, Canada, Burgh, Eastern Wind, which came out in 1980. And he's known for his ballads more than anything else. Okay. And then the lyrics. And that album came out in 1980. Next up, I have a more recent album of Burgh from 2002. Timing is Everything. I'll pull out the liner notes. Then I have the inside is a bunch of lyrics. A few pictures. Here's a photo of him standing before a church. Now, a band I knew nothing about. They end up being a folk rock band. I believe they're from my city, Winnipeg. Folk rock, country rock, sort of a mix. The Empty Standards, Waiting Out the Flood. And then the inside. And this came out in 2011. Next up, I haven't listened to this album yet. Michael McDonald, who had been part of Doobie Brothers. This is a Motown cover soul, or a covers album of soul songs from the 60s and 70s. Came out in 2003. Lyrics. Just no pictures, just lyrics. Well, one photo of him. One of my favorite bands I've seen 4 times live. Amazing live. Moody Blues, this is their greatest hits. This album is from 1989. Pull out the booklet. Not much in here. And there's nothing on the flip side of the booklet. And as I said, that album came out in 1989. Has all their big hits. Next up, from Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant, Now in Zen, which came out in 88. Some lyrics. Yeah, it's just just all lyrics. There's no pictures or photos. This was a fine. This was a regularly priced used CD, but at a very reasonable price, $8 Canadian, so about $6.50 American. Pretty Things Parachute came out in 1980. From my perspective, this is just as good, or was it 1970? Oh, I'm not sure. I think I may have copied it down wrong. Anyways, it's as good as anything that they put out in the early period. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure this is 1970. Because this is their 60s sound, not their continuation of their 60s sound, not a continuation of their 70s sound. Nice booklet. Lots of photos, some write-up. Lots of photos. They didn't go on the cheap for this edition. Liner notes, but with letters so tiny, even with my reading glasses, I think it would be tough to read. Okay, that's Pretty Things Parachute. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's 1970. Red Moon Road, a local Canadian folk rock led by a female singer. They're from Manitoba. Came out in 2012. It'll just take me a minute to pull out the booklet. Hopefully I won't rip the album. No. There we are. Lyrics. More lyrics with some pictures in the background. And again, Red Moon Road. That album came out in 2012. Next up, what I was missing in my early R.E.M. collection, Murmur. This came out in 1983. Pull out the booklet. Doesn't feel very thick. Then for my Dominican Republic second collection. So my wife is from the Dominican Republic. I lived there for 5 years. We started building a house 20 years ago. We finally finished the first floor. So we're going to spend 3 months a year, or 3 weeks a year there until we retire. Then we'll spend 3 to 6 months a year. So my wife is a minimalist. She doesn't want me to make a big mess like I do here with my comic collection, my record collection, my CD collection. But she has smartly allocated me a small place to put my stereo and my CD collection. I don't think I'll ever bring records there. I don't know if I'll easily get a turntable or not. But I've got a boom box that does just fine. So this is Foreigner Records from 1982. So it's the second copy I have, and as I said, it's for my collection in the Dominican Republic. Nothing really here other than a listing of the songs. Nice photo in the middle. And it's all the big hits on 4 different albums in the mid-70s, mid to late 70s. And finally, another album from my Dominican collection, Supertramp, Even in the Quietest Moments, 1977. Pull out the booklet. Doesn't seem to be as very substantial at all. And then the lyrics in the tiniest print possible. So that's it for my CD finds for the last few days. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and please subscribe. Have a good day. Bye-bye.